So this story takes place about 20 years ago. It's the start of the story when my life really did a downward spiral in a really bad direction. And at that point in time, I realized I needed to do something that was more determined and more committed and better for me and better for my cause, better for my daughter, better for my life. And I just happened to read the Sunday paper, and I always look at the want ads. And I looked at the want ads, and there was a teaching job available at an approved private school right around the corner from me. And they asked for an art teacher and a music teacher. I am an art teacher. I'm not a music teacher, but I had a strong music background, and I applied for the job. And 2 weeks later, I got the job. And I thought, lucky me. And I go into this school, and I have a room about as big as this room. It is empty except for 30 boxes on the wall, because the old teacher left in a huff. I don't know why, but she left. And I had to teach, back then, never had taught before, little kids with autism, severely challenged, nonverbal, anxiety-ridden, lots of aggression, all with personal care assistance. And I had 6 classes of little guys and a couple classes of big guys mixed in with all sorts of other special ed diagnoses of which I knew nothing about. My very first class comes in with 6 little guys, and I turn around, and one of them has blue in his mouth, blue on his lips, in his teeth, in his chin, and I go into panic mode, and I think, I've poisoned this child. I haven't even taught him yet, and he's gonna die. So I'm rushing around looking for whatever it was, and it ended up being blue dye. And that was the start of my teaching career at my school. And I didn't know what to do. And I paid attention, and I paid a lot of attention. And I looked at these little guys, and I did a lot of music activities with them. And I know about instruments, and I have instruments, and I play some instruments, and I sing and dance and have fun on my own. And in all these years, I had millions of experiences with these little guys, and they started to fill my heart back up that was broken and had shriveled up, and it sort of bled to death. And I remember Brady, and I gave him an Appalachian Mountain lap dulcimer to play. Brady was nonverbal, but Brady had the motor skills to strum that thing, and he started singing Frere Jacques, Frere Jacques. But at the very end, he took the pick, and he dropped it in the hole of the dulcimer because he knew I couldn't get it out. And he started to laugh. And I saw the face of autism as humor. And then I had Clay, who was an older teenager with terrible anxiety, no eye contact, nervous wreck, and he did this with his hands all the time. And I wanted to engage with Clay, and I paid attention. And I went up to Clay, and I said, "Do my hands." And he took his fingers, and he looked at me with eye contact, and he stroked my hands. And we tickled each other's hands. And then he was able to hold my hands like this, and we were able to rock back and forth and sing, and he started to laugh and laugh and laugh. And it got to the point where I was able to get Clay to go into the talent show, put sunglasses on him because he looked a lot like Stevie Wonder, and sat down at the piano, and I said, "You play the high notes, I'll play the low notes." And we had a duet. And my heart started to fill up again. And then I remember I had a bunch of staff in my room running up to me, and they said, "Oh my gosh, Josh said his first word ever in your music class." I said, "What?" He had never spoken before. He said a word, and everybody was elated beyond imagination, and my heart was filling up. And then there was Ryan with autism, who played like Billy Joel on the piano. And Ryan and I would jam together and sing. And this kid, you would pay to hear Ryan play and sing. And my heart's growing. And then there was Brian, who had the worst Tourette's I've ever seen. His Tourette's was so bad that it exhausted him. He would fall to the ground and sleep and we let him go. We wouldn't even wake him up. We would cover him with a blanket. But we took him down to the Spirit of Liberty on the Delaware River for his graduation party, and we were on the boat, my little approved private school, and like a high school from Kensington or something. I mean, it's nervous about the mix of kids. And after lunch, there was a dance competition, and Brian was able to use his Tourette's to his benefit, and it was like something out of a movie, and he parted the crowds, and he had all the girls in the other school cheering for him, and Brian won the dance competition, and all the other girls wanted his phone number, and my heart just was swelling. And then there are so many other stories, but I have one student who has been with me for 9 years, and when she came to my school, she was shut down. We could not tell what was going on, and she was very tightly wrapped inside her little box comfort zone. She drew a lot of sort of anime type figures, which is very popular. Could not get this girl outside her comfort zone. 3 days ago, she came in, because she does this once in a while, and she goes, I haven't given you a hug in a while. I just came in to give you a hug. And yesterday, she came in, and she showed me her entire semester of lessons of her computer design course that she took at Montgomery County Community College. And she was so happy to show me her drawings. They were amazing. She now has 6 college credits, and she's gonna go on. And the glee in her eyes made my heart almost explode. And I realized as I was trying to come up with a story about luck, that I live luck, because I was able to find through this shattered moment in my life, the very best thing I have ever done with my life is work with these kids in this private school and have these relationships that are so filled with what humanity and all the goodness and kindness of us as a human species that we crave and we want to have in our lives. I have every day with so many amazing kids that are so talented, so creative, so funny, so spiritual, so emotional, so loving. And they're all what we call special ed, and they're special to me because they're amazing. I love my job, and I feel sometimes like I'm the luckiest person in the world.
Shari, everybody.